Ooh, welcome to another episode, a very, very special episode of Four Kings Podcast. ENT. We are rocking out before the freeze. That's what I'm saying. This Texas, we are not prepared for this weather. We got our lovely, lovely, lovely Nina back in the building.
What's up, guys?
Shout out to everybody rocking with us today. We supposed to be doing something major today with Smart out of Harlem. We waiting on them to sign in. We shot them the link. But I'm gonna give you a little tidbit on Smart, right? So Smart is an activist, a boxer, and a rapper. Now he out of Harlem, so I'm hoping that we get this Harlem swag. Let me put this Gatorade away because Gatorade ain't sending no checks. That's how I operate. I'm not drinking nothing or taking nothing on camera if I ain't getting no checks.
Period.
But man, what have you been up to, Nina, in the time that you've been? I know you've been watching, you've been rocking with us, but what's been going on?
I tune in. I keep up with you guys. Well, I'm really just resetting after the holidays and, being in celebratory mode and being so busy with Christmas and Thanksgiving and birthdays. And I'm just partied out. So I've been taking some time to reset. And the book club is coming off of break because we do a break for Christmas. And this month we are doing a book about healing trauma, actually trauma in the body. It's called My Grandmother's Hands by Resma. Her name is Indian, so I can't pronounce the last name, but it's called My Grandmother's Hands. And so it's about racialized trauma and what it does to the body, and talks about, Black people's relationships with, authority figures in America and how that creates trauma in our bodies and how we respond, sort of like what we were just talking about. And so we are about to meet to discuss that book in 2 weeks. And I'm just building a gift for one of my members because she shows up to every meeting. So I can't talk too much about that, but
She's going to get the golden star.
I'm building her a basket of love. So, so just resetting, getting back to eating healthy, getting back in the books. I'm reading about 4 books right now. So I've just been busy studying and trying to get back on my health kick.
Okay. And you, so it's one of the books, that 48 Laws of Power?
Okay, funny story. So I already read the book, but I said I was going to read it again.
Okay.
With the book club.
Right.
Now I was online and the book popped up, right? I'm like, damn, I didn't even say anything. Then I go to the bookstore because I'm building my surprise for my member.
Right.
And then boom, a whole table, 48 Laws of Power. So I'm like, am I supposed to read this? Is that a sign? Like the red?
Sign, man.
Yeah. So I think I got to read the book. I'm already reading 4 books. Y'all gonna be saying I'm lying in a minute when I tell you I done read 3,000 books like Cat Williams.
I was about to go there. She about to Cat Williams.
I'm about to read. I'm gonna read them all. So I'm trying to get some time to finish all these books before the meeting. Well, only one's for the book club. The other 3 are for my personal. And
you know what? That's honestly though, we do need to read more.
Yes.
A lot of us just stop reading at a certain point because we only gonna read things that are entertaining to us.
Yeah.
Instead of reading to kind of learn and expand, right?
Yeah. And I think you should balance both. I don't think you should just be doing all the self-study, but I do think you should also read for leisure from time to time.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right, we got Smart in the building. Hold on.
Awesome.
Man, what's going on?
Peace, God. How you feel?
Look, I'm just so excited right now. I'm hoping that you coming with all the positive energy that I've seen you carry on all these other different platforms. I love your message. I want to learn more. Man, just tell me how's Smart feeling right now.
To be completely transparent and honest, I had a full week of sparring, so ribs is hurting.
Damn.
But other than that, other than sore from the boxing stuff, I'm good. I'm in great spirits. I'm excited about 2024. Yeah.
Okay, so I I've been really like trying to do, because one of the things that I do when we get ready to have a guest on, I really want to engulf myself in who this person is, their backstory, like just find out more about them, because it's a disservice to me and the platform and what we're trying to accomplish if I don't even do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I saw I it's like it's a gap for me, and I need you to help me fill in the gaps, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you grew up, you're out of Harlem, you know, and I know you was on the Math Hoffa podcast, and he was around there talking about you out of Queens, but I don't really, I mean, what's the beef with Harlem and Queens first?
Um, I didn't know for Queens and Harlem to have a beef.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I'm from Harlem, and Math is, I think he was being sarcastic and playful as to my understanding.
It was. I'm just messing with you, but so uh you have a very similar story, right? That a
Mm-hmm.
lot of people who decide to become rappers, they have a lot of the same elements. Um, so tell me how your story differs, because I know your mother was on drugs, your father was not there,
Mm-hmm.
and you ended up in the streets.
Yeah, yeah.
So like kind of give me a little like your first, I guess your introduction to street life.
Well. The first thing I want to say is I don't want to necessarily, when I speak about the past, when I talk about the things I encountered, it's not to glorify. It's just to be transparent and to let people that's going through it or might go through it that I can appreciate doing things the right way because I spent a large portion of my early life doing things the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
And I never wanted to, be in the streets. And I think people glorify um, street activities and street life. But when you go to prison or you suffer a loss, then you don't really value the streets as highly as you did before you took a loss. Um,
Right.
I remember just being in the shelter with my moms, and nobody really watching me, and me hanging out with the other older kids in the shelter, and kind of like just getting into the things that they went into, which was um, swiping Metro cards, stealing clothes, selling
Mm.
weed, different things. So I kind of became influenced by the older kids that were around me, and they didn't have any guidance either. So it just was a bunch of lost young people running the streets.
Right.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, and it happens so frequently and so often, and we don't have enough positive influence within our own community to be able to deter some of this, right?
Hmm.
So I love the fact that you're actually in your community, you're giving back, you're trying to, like, I saw that one clip where um it was at the boxing gym and you were talking to that young man, and I love your whole set, like, so your it starts with your, what is it? Hold on, it goes your thoughts.
How you think? How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts
Yes.
things.
Mm.
Um, and I do a lot more in the community as well,
Mm.
other than just talking to kids. But we give away food, we give away clothes, we do different things, and I think it's important when conversations like this are being had, is to give applicable um, information to people who are watching this. So
Mm-hmm.
what I could have did when I was young, what I could have did was maybe find a small business and try to work with, right? Um, because I always had an entrepreneurial spirit. I had the right hustle, but I was selling the wrong product,
Right.
Mm,
right? And
Right.
God doesn't choose there's no age limit for prayers to be answered. So if you're going through something and it seems insurmountable and it feels like you can't get past it, then you got to pray and ask God exactly for what you want. And there was a time when I used to smoke weed and drink, and I was an alcoholic, and I'd be high and drunk out my mind all the time. And I didn't like what it was doing to me. And I prayed and I asked God for help. I asked God to help me to stop smoking and stop drinking. And he removed the desire out of me. And when he desire out of me, it assisted me in to quit. So whatever you're going through, don't be afraid to take that time, even if it's going in the bathroom. I remember I was in a drug program and I broke down. I was crying, right? And um, because I had spent every single birthday in some type of a program up until that point. And for some reason I just reflected. I just reflected, right? Like, and I thought about all those birthdays that I spent inside the system, and then I broke down. I went to the bathroom. I think my grandmother had sent me. I was in Daytop at the time, and I was like an upstate drug program, and I'm in Daytop, and my grandmother sends me a card, and I just remember breaking down, and I go in the bathroom, I lock myself in a stall, and I talked to God, and I talked very candidly, very very unapologetically, and very direct, like, yo, man, if this is what it is, then fucking kill me now. Like, if this is what my life is gonna be, and if it's not, then show me a sign. Give me. I need fucking something. And
Yeah.
God came through for me. So don't be afraid to ask God. And I think a lot of times we let the church or religious leaders dictate how we converse with God. Everything ain't oh, blood of Jesus, oh yeah. Everything
Right.
that's Christian, right? If you Muslim, everything ain't just about making salat. Sometimes you gotta just sit looking, just ask God, hey man, I need some fucking help. And God, the beautiful thing about God is God knows where your heart is, God knows where your intentions is, and your prayers will be answered based upon your intention and where your heart is at.
I agree.
So I hear you mentioned the duality, right? You mentioned Christianity and Muslim.
Right.
But you identify as being Muslim, correct?
Yeah, for sure.
So when did you go through that transition?
13. I was in the again, I was the group home. I was in a group home, and I met this counselor. The counselor was Muslim, and I was asking him questions, and he was like, people choose to follow what their fathers follow. And I said, well, at the time, I only knew about Christianity because my family had took me to church.
Right.
I never, was able to, or even knew how to establish a relationship with God that was personalized and tailor made for me. So I prayed and I asked God. I said, I'm not praying as a Muslim. I'm not praying as a Christian. I want to go to heaven, and just show me the way. And whatever way you show me, I'm gonna have to follow. And I got led towards, Islam. But again, be Muslims in heaven, Christians in hell, Muslims in hell, and Christians in heaven, right? So it's everybody. This is why I said you have to establish your own personalized relationship with God, not uninterrupted and not influenced by anybody else but you.
Okay.
Right? Very
Right.
important.
I agree.
Very important.
I agree.
And let me get this last point in.
Okay.
Your actions are the lawyers for your soul in God's court when you die. So every deed is like testimony. So every deed is like testimony. Your actions are the lawyers for your soul in God's court when you die. So it's the things that you do. It's not just what you identify yourself as. It's the work that you're doing while the work that you're doing while you're alive is what's going to determine where you go when you're not alive.
Agreed. I have a question. So much like you, myself and a lot of people that I know and grew up with that maybe are still alive or otherwise, whatever. We all came up through these types of trenches, right? Disadvantaged, um, drug addict parents, low education communities, things like that. Um, and I do believe that God puts you in certain situations because once you overcome it, you're supposed to go back and, cast a light to bring other people out with you. What advice would you give someone like yourself that's in a hood right now who has overcome these challenges and would like to, you know, have that light to bring some people forward? What advice would you give them to get started with community outreach and really reaching out to the children? Because there are a lot of children right now being raised by internet, TikTok, all
Mm.
these different things. They're being misguided, they're being, beguiled or whatever you want to call it. Um, what advice would you give someone that's looking to start to be a help in their community?
Right. Well, I think the first thing is understanding that every survivor is not built for leadership, and
True.
just because you survive doesn't give you a license to lead.
Right.
God has to choose you for leadership, and God never fails in who He chooses to empower with influence. And
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
co-host mentioned something about duality, where there's light, there's dark, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it's people that God is gonna let be led astray, and it's gonna be some people that God guides, right? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
stuff is pre-written already. Um, so I think that's important, and I think secondly, you have to be authentic. You have to go where your passion is. If you're passionate, you're going to make the change because you're just passionate about it, and
Mm-hmm.
just tired of this teach me how to culture. I don't have to
Mm-hmm.
how to be human. I shouldn't have to teach you how to tell the truth. I shouldn't have to teach you how to help your brother. I shouldn't have to
Mm-hmm.
teach sister. These are innate instincts, and there's no how to for it. I do what I do because it's in my heart to do it. Nobody
Yeah.
taught me. Nobody taught me how to do it, and God chose me to do certain things, and I'm just trying my best to follow God's plan for me. So I wouldn't necessarily say I would give advice. I would have a informative conversation, and those are the things I would talk about, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
because you survived, you know, doesn't mean that you're going to be telling everybody how you survived. And
Mm-hmm.
what you're passionate about is what you should focus on. And there should never be no um, comparison to where your starting point is, because what worked for Smart may or may not work for you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm.
Agreed.
So, how'd you come up with the name Smart?
It's an acronym: success, motivation, ambition, righteous truth.
Mm.
Well,
Okay.
see, I would have never, all the research, I would have never figured that out. I had to hear it straight from the source.
Right. For sure.
So, when you went through the name change, like how is because I know a lot of people take offense to when they no longer go by that name. Like when Lou Alcindor went to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, he was like, "Don't call me Lou." So like, you still running the old people from when you grew up? They called you by your government name or your previous name.
No, I mean, I don't even give that kind of a like energy repels and attracts at the same time. So people that I, I don't view it like that, right? Like I
Okay,
think when you change your energy, the energy changes your circle,
That's
Mm-hmm.
very
true.
true.
That's true.
and there'll be people that you just flat out won't ever see again because your energy. If you truly change your energy, you're not going to see nobody from your past because you're a new version of yourself. If
Mm-hmm.
if everybody you knew before you knew how to fly you, was in your life, now you know how to fly. I'm in the air. I'm in the sky. I'm not seeing anybody.
Right.
I
And
get it. Yeah. But
so
but some people, but again, because like, because to continue to live is you're supposed to continue to grow, evolve, and learn.
right.
But it's still some people that will see you and be like, "Man, do you know that nigga ain't like that? That
But
man,
that's
where the
that.
hoes at?"
I don't subscribe to that. I think that might be the case for you because you just spoke that into existence for yourself. But
Nah,
for me, I
I,
haven't had those experiences. Again,
okay,
energy attracts and repels at the same time. So when you change how you think and you change how you feel, you like it'd be somebody that lives 10 miles away that you see all the time, and someone who's a so-called neighbor that you never see. That's how powerful. That's how powerful energy change switching up is, right? Like I don't run into people from when I used to sell drugs. I don't, you know, and I'm too busy focused on cultivating new relationships, and I've cultivated new relationships, and you see what you look for, and that's the best way I can say it. You see what you look for, and who's looking at you is a reflection of you. Make sense?
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like from what I'm basically getting is like as you started to change, you changed the circle that you were around, or
Yeah,
that
like
the circle that you had around you. So anybody from your past is not a part of your current circle because they don't benefit you. They benefited you back then, but not now.
no, it's not a matter of benefit. It's just a matter of changing your energy. You see what you look for, and what looks at you is a reflection of you. So
Hmm.
the people that is looking at you, they are a reflection of you. How you think creates how you feel. How you feel becomes an emotion. That emotion becomes a vibration. That vibration becomes a magnet that attracts things to you. This is like some serious shit, right? Um,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
so when you understand how that works, then you understand how you won't cross paths with anybody from your past because you're not on that same energy. If I'm
Mm-hmm.
thinking lower vibrational thoughts, I'm going to attract things that are in association with that low vibrational thought. When I change the thought, I'm going to attract a whole different group of people.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm. Based
So
on that frequency.
yeah, it's like
So
think of
would
like
you consider?
hold on,
Mm-hmm.
think of like a TV channel. If you spent your whole life on channel 6 and then you turn to channel 7, what's going on channel 6 you don't know about unless you turn back to channel 6.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm
Right.
turning I'm turning to channel 7, taking the batteries out the remote and throwing the remote out the window.
Until you want to go to
Gotcha,
8.
gotcha.
So would you consider yourself to be an alchemist?
I don't know about all that.
Oh, okay.
Mm-mm,
Hmm.
mm-mm.
Well, so I guess I love the way you put all that together, right? Um, like it's basically about focusing on bigger and better things, moving forward, being, focusing on vibrating at a higher frequency.
Mhm.
So what do you think the next step is? Because I know you got the No Labels tour, and and then it's like it's part 2. It's going to evolve. It's going to keep growing into something bigger. And I know you're in the artist development and trying to teach people how to, instead of teaching people how to get how to feed people, you want to teach them how to fish. So like expound on that a little bit for me.
Um, well, we got some companies we getting ready to start. I can't talk about every one of them, but one of them is a radio station.
Oh,
Um,
cool.
Okay.
Actual radio station where to be on AM radio.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's something that's in the works. And in terms of, I mean, I'm just pro ownership, and I'm pro ownership, and I'm very much interested in helping, um, black people in that realm, right? Of just ownership and creating an ownership's mindset, right? And not just like switching from consumer to curator, and to owner, because a lot of times we're just concerned with having access,
Mm-hmm.
um, and the other coaches are concerned with controlling the actual access and controlling the tools being used to even generate the access, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, what my company is evolving into is just creating industries, empowering, you know, black executives, giving corporate America a facelift, revive, revitalizing, the ghettos, and the key to revitalizing the ghettos is creating more black contracted companies. Got to have more black
Yes.
brothers who know how to paint, do electricity, do plumbing, do brick and mortar, do landscaping, um, and then creating, unified ballot organizations where we can get all of the black votes kind of like pooled into one organization. So when we get behind a candidate, we're not divided. Our voters are together because we have a common initiative. So that's just where my mind is at.
Okay.
So you spoke about voting. Do you really feel like voting works for our country?
It definitely does. It wouldn't be a system in place if it didn't. It's just unfortunate that we're not taught political science, and we're not taught how to leverage our power as voters, and we don't have institutions that we own and control that hold politicians accountable.
I feel so. I'm gonna say this, and this is just my perspective, right?
Mhm.
I feel like voting does work and it doesn't work, right? Because there's certain people that are in certain positions of power where the small guy never really gets the opportunity to be the person that who honestly is the most appropriate person for that position. It just never happens. You have other people backing this person. You got people that are in these, um, other arenas that are putting things in position for these people to take this place. And when it actually comes down to it, they get more public. It's the same thing, kind of like when people don't have the proper backing and they don't have to push, their message is getting watered down because they're so grassrooted, right? When you got a major machine behind you, or you got all of these other people that's pushing this agenda, it's front and center. Just like the way you've talked about, homosexuality being right, front and center, and it's a agenda in hip hop.
I mean, so, but that's why I said that it's unfortunate, but we're not taught political science, and you have to have a vested interest attached to your vote, right? So if you're not financially making any investments, um, then you don't have any say so. And then if you don't have an organization that finances anything, then there's no accountability, right? So
Right.
what happens is homosexuals have countless organizations that financially invest into things, and they maintain their financial position, right? And
Mm-hmm.
they maintain their equity, they create ownership. So I'm financing you, and if you don't keep your word, then I pull my finances, I pull my resources. When it comes to African Americans, a lot of times we're not financially invested. We just go and check off a ballot.
Mm-hmm.
That
Right.
that doesn't
That's
do anything.
true.
So we have to. That's why I said we have to have um, organized um, Black voter organizations, to where you have Harlem, the five boroughs, all the five boroughs. New York City represents one organization, and then every state has one organization, and one organization represents the Black vote in its entirety. So now you have power. So now if you're a politician soliciting that organization's vote, it's not split. It's just one at the you if you get this organization's favor, then you got this state. If you get this
Mm-hmm.
organization's favor, then you got this city. That's the power of having the voters organized, and then the voters have to pool their finances into organizations that actually fund um, and support the interests of the candidates that they want to see actually get elected.
Right.
Okay. So I know you have in a lot of the interviews that I've watched, um, you have a very strong opinion about police. Why? I guess, and I don't want to assume anything, but I kind of formulated the reason why you may feel that way. But could you explain?
He said, I mean, so whatever opinion you have, for
Mhm.
me, is your opinion. It doesn't make it valid. I don't have issue. I don't have an issue with police officers.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. Well, I because just in what I saw, I was like, dang, it's okay. But I mean, it could have, because again, a lot of times you perform your own perception based on your own personal experiences and things that you've learned along the way. And if your interaction with police officers may not have been that well, then it could definitely have changed that perception. However, we do know that one police officer doesn't represent all of them.
I mean, if you got a question, then ask that. Like, I don't have an issue with police officers.
Okay. All right. Well,
So you talked about wanting to bring organization and unity with the Black vote, and you talked about doing that in every state. And have you started the process in? Because I know you're in New York, or that's your primary focus. Have you started the process of reaching out to other states and getting, like representation in every state, so that this sweeps across the nation in order to get it started?
I can't go into detail about that right now.
Okay.
But what I can say is, I think it's important for us to start understanding political science and the power of just being informed in the arena of politics, and understand that whether you're white or Black, you're a politician, not a leader. And Black politicians don't view themselves as leaders; they view themselves as politicians, and rightfully so. So you have to understand how the system works and operate the tools within the system if you expect to get some type of a positive result from the system.
And I know you can't speak on some of the companies that you're in the process of formulating, but if there's anyone that's interested in working with your organizations, or providing resources or connections or anything that would further along your agenda, how would they go about getting involved with you?
Yeah, well, right now, we taking it one day at a time, and not really looking to not really, I'm not really at the moment looking for helpers. We're pretty much cool right now.
Something that I would really like to see happen here in Texas, because I feel like when it comes to voting, it's pretty hard, especially within the African American community. So much changes at the last minute. You might go to vote and they tell you, oh, well, you're not in this county, so you can't vote. Like, I literally just seen this happen when we had to vote for what I think it was the mayor.
The mayor. Yeah.
Like, so many people were coming out to cast their vote, and they were being turned away. And I was just like, wow, like this is so crazy. But and then even with the younger generation, like, I had to literally sit down and explain to my son and my niece why it's important for them to vote, not just based off of what our ancestors done, but this has something to do with you all, and with y'all rights and everything. So it's important for you to vote. But I just feel like a lot has just been lost over the course of time. So, but I like what you're doing. So I think that's really, really good.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
So Smart, who's the lucky lady in your life right now, or do you have one?
Yeah, I keep my personal life separate, my brother.
I like that. Yes, your personal life is personal. Don't nobody need to know all that. I like that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. The reason I asked that though is because a lot of rappers and entertainers, they do that. Like, they keep You know, they let you see what they want you to see, and it's always good to ask questions like that to see if I can catch on your toes or if you slipping or not. But nah, you on point. Uh, but what I will say is because a lot of the discussions that we have, and I just wanted to make sure that if we ventured down that way to introduce some of those different elements, that it would be something that you, I guess, either had present or previous experience in, right? Because, um, like, I know there's a lot of cultural shifts going on right now and understanding of where men and women are. And then they say that as men, we're always trying to bash women and women are trying to bash men. And I don't necessarily feel it's that way. I feel more or less that some people do take it as an opportunity to bash people, but some people are actually out here trying to educate and try to bridge that gap to connect one another.
Right. That's real.
So in your position as as a man, uh, can you explain to me like your perspective on what submission looks like to you?
Well, you can't have one without the other, right? So I think it's important to understand everybody's role and then the benefits of everybody's role. So a man's role is to be a protector, provider, maintainer, sustainer, but also a leader, right?
Mm-hmm.
A woman's role is wisdom and balance. Now, the man, he gets his provision from God. So, in order for the man to be the provider, he has to have a relationship with God. So, he gets provision. God provides that man with provision, and that provision is what empowers him to financially take care of himself and his family. The woman has to have wisdom and balance. So, she has to be knowledgeable about it. And if we're talking about our culture, black women have been through slavery, have been hypermasculated and strategically given financial positions and opportunities in corporate America to um, to break to break to break up the family the black family power structure, not just break up the black family but break up the black family power structure. So now you feel like you don't need a black man because there's a man paying you and that man is white. So you can't
Mm-hmm.
need a man because the man that pays all your bills is the white man. So, and it's been that way since slavery. So we need our black women utilizing more wisdom, doing some due diligence, and not being afraid to be more feminine and play their position second to the man. The man is above. It's God, the man, the woman, and then the family. And when you have that dynamic, now you start to see more purposeful, more powerful relationships, and et cetera, et cetera. And I think submission is the woman's willingness to follow the lead of that man.
Mm.
I agree.
You hit. Hey, look here. Round of applause, hand clap, bells, whistles, everything going off. Because I mean, you couldn't have said it a better way. I think a lot of times when we start having these discussions about what submission looks like or what submission is, a lot of women cringe, like, like they're not trying to. I ain't submitting to nobody, and you hit everything as to why we're
Yeah,
in the.
because so the reason why some women cringe is because you've been dragged into an unnatural state and you've developed habits while being in that unnatural state and you have become addicted to that lifestyle to now where you feel the unnatural is actually natural. And it never was designed by God for our women not to depend on us.
Hmm.
Okay. And what happens is there's a fear because now you're so used to, in your mind's eye, being a leader or running the show that you associate relinquishing your power with submission. And you know, that's what it is. It's unfortunate that we have women that view it that way, but you can't have both. Either you're going to be a woman with a man, or a woman who thinks she's a man who never has a man.
And I keep saying they don't be want, it's good when you have other like-minded brothers that come and they say that and they speak to that, and it's like we're not trying to
But it doesn't matter. It's look, you, you, the man playing Russian roulette is not going to put a hole in my skull. So what these women drink don't make us piss, right?
That's it.
I think a lot of times when they hear us speak this way, they feel like I'm not trying to sell you on nothing. This is you could do what you want. Just know that action is a reaction, and the reaction that you're going to get is not the one that I think you really want long term.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we got my brother Jay Black. He just joined us. Jay Black, smart Jay Black.
Peace, brother. Sorry for the late arrival.
All right, so Smart didn't I don't know, man. He got me out of the loss of words right now. I'm so glad that he's been able to eloquently, knowledgeably say what needs to be said in a manner that could be delivered and received. I believe delivered and received. So man, we actually just talked about small part of his upbringing. We talked about what he's trying to accomplish now, and the one thing that I would I really want to talk about, because I know you've been behind him, you've been locked up, he's been locked up too. I want to get you all's perspective on that, because I was just having a conversation before we got started about Khalif Browder, right? And not a lot of people still don't know Khalif Browder's story. And so it was the dude that just got what was the guy in Vegas? He just got locked up, right? Did you are you aware about that story about the guy in Vegas who jumped over the bench?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Wait,
okay.
Yeah, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Okay, so it was a guy in Vegas. He jumped over the bench after the judge got ready to sentence him, right. And he couldn't take what the judge was getting ready to do. So the dude that I've given on the episode earlier this week, he basically had chance after chance after chance after chance after chance. He went to jail for domestic battery and for 45 days. They gave him another chance when he got out, and like within the same time frame, he ended up doing another domestic battery charge and then got sentenced to 2 months and anger management. Then he turned around and he did a theft. They had him on probation for the theft, and then he committed all these other violent offenses while he was out on theft, and then hit somebody with a baseball bat in the kneecap, just all kind of stuff. So he got before the judge, and he was like, "Judge, please don't sentence me to prison. I learned my lesson. If you really could take a chance and just give me an opportunity, I promise I won't do it again." And so we've had other discussions, and I was like, I felt like the judge was right for doing what she did, because he had several chances. Some people don't get those opportunities, right? Some people they just had to undo the 3-strike law. People were getting locked up for non-violent offenses. If it was your third one, you was going 25 to life.
So what's the perspective you're trying to pull from that?
So the perspective I'm trying to pull is like, how many chances do you think somebody should get before you say, you know what, it's time to go sit down?
Well, I can't give a real honest response to that, because I don't know the person's upbringing, right? And I think it's very dangerous to condemn someone over a post, right? Mm-hmm. We don't know. I don't believe what a post says, and I think that we need to have more empathy for our own. We need to have more patience for our own. we've dealt with persecution. We've dealt with over 400 plus years of systemic and systematic racism. We're still dealing with political inequity. We're still in our Holocaust. We're dealing with genocide. We're dealing with chemical, psychological, spiritual, financial warfare. Um, I think I just think it's disgusting when there's like this agreement with punishment for us when
Mm-hmm.
it's been over 400 years of no justice. You know, they laugh about what Young Thug and YSL is going through, but you have police officers with body cams murdering people and you still can't get a conviction.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
You
Mm-hmm.
talk about someone jumping at a judge when there's footage of a police officer beating a black woman on the side of the road. Where's the conviction? When there's
Mm-hmm.
proof that there's been bodies buried in the back of jails and those inmates were murdered by correctional officers and there's no justice. We didn't get any justice for uh Louima, who was sodomized by police officers. We didn't get any justice for Trayvon Martin. Did we? Did we sweep this under the rug? We have a very, very convenient amnesia when it comes to people that are non-black. Um, we deserve 100 chances because the system hasn't even been designed or created to help and assist us. When you go
Mm-hmm.
to when you're incarcerated, you're supposed to pay your debt to society. So if I'm paying my debt to society, why upon paying that debt, I still can't get certain licenses? I'm limited now. Now I have a strike against me. And even when I was in prison, and when you go to prison, prison does not um, rehabilitate you.
Mm-hmm.
Rehabilitate.
This is why the recidivism rate, which is going back to jail, the recidivism rate is so high because
Yeah.
prison does not rehabilitate you. So
Mm-hmm.
you created a system to destroy me, and you impact and influence my community, and you remove opportunities in my community, and then you chastise and punish me and hold me accountable for surviving and functioning in an impossible community. And
Mm-hmm.
again, anytime I see our people being persecuted or judged, I'm always going to be empathetic and patient because I know the plight of our people.
Absolutely. That's the same thing I said.
That baby, what you
That was I said.
said.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
That's exactly what you
Can I
said.
I agree.
piggyback
I
on that?
agree.
The brother actually absolutely right. And the part that really gets me is that they don't look at the patterns of what a person's doing unless they white. And they don't even have to have a pattern if they white. Like Andrea Yates, you can just kill your kids one time and they think you crazy. But here you got somebody who keeps doing the same type of crime, although he's going to jail repeatedly after it. And then you got his mother and his sister telling these people that he got mental issues,
Mm.
but they not trying to hear that. And I'm sure that he taking medicine while he locked up.
Mm.
So it's like they automatically turn a blind eye to us when we actually need help.
Mm.
Like he said, him going to jail is not going to rehabilitate him. And that's why he's still doing the same thing. It's something that's triggering him because something that the judge said, like his mom said, the judge said one word and boom, he snapped and took off.
Well,
Nobody in their right mind
Mm-hmm.
gonna really do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So at what point do they say this man need help?
But I got 2 points on that. So he was given.
King. You know, sounds
What's
like
that?
this is a conversation minus a smart guy. So whatever other stuff you have pertaining to me, let's
Yeah.
let's address that, and I'm a take a nap after this.
Oh, you take it. Hey, look, I ain't mad at you. Smart. If you got taken, anybody have any other questions?
Yeah, I do for Smart.
Go ahead.
Because before I got here, I was asking my league owner, of the Houston Barcode. I was asking her if she knew of you, and first she was like, "Who is it? Who is it?" So I sent her the Instagram, and she said, "Yeah, I know him. That's Smart. He real popular in New York and stuff." And so I just heard that you just, pretty much just came home. So I wanted to know, as far as battle rap is concerned, where do you see it heading, and what part did you want to play in it if you did?
Well, I mean, I think, I think, well, I think battle rap needs to. I think the league owners need to own venues,
That's
and
nice.
and and then you can develop a fan base for each battler, and then you can start to create, you know, bigger shows, and make maximum money. So I just think like league owners need to start investing in actually owning venues, like owning the destination and locations where they actually have the battles at. Um, and then there needs to be a business plan in place to invest marketing dollars in the battlers, so you can build up your battlers, right? You can build up their popularity, and then receive maximum profit, because you built them up, but they're coming and performing at the venues that you own.
I got one more. It's kind of a rift between the new battlers and the forefathers, you know. And
Mhm.
I was wondering if you think it's time for all or some of the old school battlers to, get out the way and let the youngsters in, or should they still stay and fight for the spot?
No, I mean, listen. When Curtis Mayfield comes on, I still nod my head.
Hey,
Right.
right.
When I hear Patty LaBelle's, sing, it still does something for me. I still clean my house listening to Sade. Right. So um what happens is it becomes consumers are the first area of a business that becomes oversaturated, but there's always space for ownership. So again, when you start to, as league owners, start to own venues, now they can have housing for those older guys, who those veterans fans, and they audience. you know um Shit, last month I was at SOBs, and KRS-One had 300 people come out to see him.
Mhm.
Damn.
So um I don't think it's about old versus young. I think i think it's just about um properly servicing each battler's core or fan base, and having a platform to properly do so.
That makes a lot of
Okay.
sense because that's actually what we've been doing. We've bringing a couple guys out of retirement, and facing off everybody because it's rap, especially battle rap. It's a timeless sport. You can be old and still battle rap. It's guys that's 50, you know what I'm saying, and they still going in. And as long as you can bring a draw, and you got a fan base, I think it's all good. You know what I mean?
For
Yeah.
sure. Look, I
You
agree.
jumping back in?
um yeah, you never know, man. I mean, I'm an artist, so you know you
Hey,
never you never know, man. I mean, um I'm still good with the pen, man. So
especially during time, you had time to really hone the craft, man, and go
oh
in,
yeah,
get
yeah,
back
yeah,
out there, man.
for sure,
I
for
know, I
sure.
know, Smack got a spot for you.
Yeah, I mean, if that was something that, yeah, I mean, I got Beasley on speed dial. So
You come to Houston?
I actually was supposed to come to Houston to do some boxing training next month, so I might be out there. So
Okay.
we definitely
If you-
need to.
For sure, you got to come down here during Summer Madness time because Barcode and URL, we usually do a double card. So like Saturday, we'll throw home, and then Sunday they'll do Gnome or Summer Madness. But it's lit in the city during that time, man.
Oh man, okay. I can only imagine because I remember going to Austin for South by Southwest. It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
That's dope. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
lit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
So I mean, yeah. Just take my number 917-907-3687, and and just shoot me a text, and then when I'm down there, I tap in with you.
All right, that'll work. You said
917
all right.
907 3687.
All right, cool. I'm gonna text you, brother.
All right, bet for sure.
All right, well, we appreciate you rocking with us, Smart. I know you ready to take a nap.
Yeah, I had to listen. Everybody, I apologize. I had a very, very long week, and today was like the first day. I was like, okay, I need to just listen to my body and just
You do.
turn the phone off
Yeah.
and go under the bed.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? But we
Self-care.
listen.
Absolutely.
I think we need to do but we definitely need to do a part 2 soon.
Bet. Yeah. For sure.
Cool.
Because then we can have all the folks here, you know.
Yeah. Let's set up a part 2, like I'm talking about within a week, because I think there's some topics we could touch on in terms of the organized ballot organizations.
I would love that.
Yeah.
I'm interested in that topic.
Yeah. Definitely.
But that's a bit.
Yeah, and then we could talk. We could talk more so about just some ideas for growing, the battle rap scene in media, and what you guys are doing. You guys have tremendous energy. I love the platform. You guys are great at what you do, and I'm looking forward to working with you guys again.
Likewise, Smart.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes,
We appreciate
thank
your
you.
time.
Yes, sir.
All right,
Thank
y'all.
you for
Peace.
speaking with us.
Good old Smart.
How you meet Smart?
Bro, look, shout out to his manager. His manager hit me up. He was going through the stuff. He appreciated the how we get down and everything. And yeah, man, it was just one of those things where we connected and he set it up. And I'm a little iffy. You hit me on Instagram, ain't no phone number attached.
Who is you?
It was like one of them. But then we chopped it up a little bit. I'm like, okay, cool. I bet. So I said, well, let's set it up. And we was actually supposed to do it like I think about a week ago or something like that. But I can't remember. It was some things that was conflicting, and I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna be able to do it. That's what it was. A birthday weekend.
Wow.
The turn up.
The turn up. Look, hey, I'm here getting ready for this, and the freeze about to happen. So hey,
Right.
I can't do it all now. I mean,
That's true.
I made it happen. So, but nah, G good people though. Like it's a different experience dealing with cats from New York, from down south and everywhere else. So like the conversation is just, it was like straight to the point and boom,
Yeah.
let's make it happen. Like shit. So I appreciate them reaching out, doing that, and yeah, man, it was good times. So we're gonna circle back because we got Black in the building, right? And
introduce me to the lady.
So this lady right here, this is Nina Simone.
How you doing?
Nina Mosley. Nina, with the all that, Nina.
Nina.
Look,
She's an alias.
She
Love Jones is one of my favorite movies. The main character, Neil Long.
We'll tell you her government off screen.
Off screen.
Just like I never give your government out.
Yeah, don't tell nobody.
I've known him since 7th grade. So, but yeah, what I feel like in that situation regarding
what's her name?
I mean, I was like, I guess
everybody knows Jamie though.
But still,
everybody know Jamie.
He's so rude. How you doing?
You ain't never met Jamie?
On the show, looking at her.
My bad.
I'm Jay. Nice to meet you.
This the first lady
that was
at
you
4
in the
Kings.
comments.
Maybe. When?
When?
Last week?
Nah,
Not
nah,
this
nah.
week, the week before.
Her, you don't her in the comments?
No, him.
Nah, he don't.
Oh,
I
okay.
probably did.
When?
I don't know.
You ain't do it.
Which show?
Lies.
It was the one
Here
that
come
all
the
the
cat.
guys were here.
Here come the cap.
It was just the guys. It was him,
I didn't tune in.
Kellen
I
was
waited,
here.
I
Rayford,
didn't
Kellen.
tune in.
Yeah. It was just them.
I did say something on that show when
What
Kelly
you-
was here.
What you say?
When Kellen and Ray was talking about what was it? When Kellen was like, I pay all the bills.
Mm-hmm.
That part I said something.
What you say?
Something like what Kellen said.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I probably said something like, I ain't trying to hear you trying to tell me what to do, something. I don't know. But I think I did.
I think
say
you
something
might
like that.
have. Now that I think
I
about
remember because I think you said something to me. I was talking. That was me.
it. She was on the phone.
We disagree. Yeah.
She was talking about Kellen Wayne and things, you know.
No, don't put that out there.
Huh?
Please.
Shooby Dooby.
Let's get this
Scooby-Doo,
straight.
Mr.
Let's get
McSlay,
this
what you
straight.
talking about?
I just simply said
Look at
not a
that.
commercial for
Right.
for your situation.
Johnson. Okay.
Yes, not a how you have a whole commercial for
Johnson
it.
and Johnson commercial. That's all I'm saying.
I thought luxury items don't need commercials. No, I'm playing.
Ah,
I'm playing.
damn.
I'm joking. It's a
It's
joke.
about to be a whole conversation.
You know he coming with me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Kellen
he
about
gonna
to
be like
turn
that.
up.
Oh, Lord, he gonna see that. Okay, I'm joking.
McSlur, where you at?
That's the first thing he gonna say. Now, bestie.
Bestie.
Now
Now bestie. Come
Now
on.
definitely
Become
coming
his
to the book
bestie.
club.
I become his bestie though.
You are bestie. What you mean?
Okay,
Come
fine.
on now.
I'm the bestie.
No,
All
no.
right.
My
He said
bestie
what
is
he said.
Shooby Dooby.
It's
Nah, hey, he got all that. He can have that one.
I don't even know what that means.
My old lady catch me giving somebody a
A
nickname.
nickname, a
boy. Hey, look out. I don't want no
Lord,
smoke.
I don't want no smoke either. I don't
Shoot.
want no smoke with my man. That's why I'm like,
I want
no
Give
shooby
nicknames.
dooby. Right.
I might do some smoked turkey or something, but I ain't doing
Let me
none of
know.
that.
You know, I'll meet you halfway for a plate.
You know, hey. So but yeah, the dude jumped over. I'm like this. Look, I feel everything they were saying, right? I do. But
When you say they, who are you referring to?
you
Okay.
everybody that's on the opposing
That agree
side,
with what Smart said. Yes.
why you had to say it like that? Why you had to say
that? Because we did agree.
I
We did.
maybe you did.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't want to, hold up that man's time because he was in pain.
Exactly. You can
Visible.
tell- you
Yeah,
can
it was
tell.
visible.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask more questions
I did
because
too.
I wanted to circle back to that whole thing with him saying God provides provision for the man and the man leads the woman and this
Mhm.
and the third. And I agree wholeheartedly. But how many men are really subscribing to that? It's a lot of men who don't even have a relationship with God. Therefore, you wouldn't even be fit to lead a woman.
So now then that segues off into some other stuff because
Mhm.
come on.
I just wanted to say I wanted to double back on
Yeah,
that,
I did.
but you
Yeah.
kept the conversation going. But I know we short on time, so
Right.
I respect that man's time.
Before we get there,
What's up?
you gotta see yourself in other black people.
Absolutely.
And when I say that, you know how white people can be like, oh yeah, he just shot up a church, but we still gonna take him to Wendy's.
Absolutely.
No, for real.
Really
You
though.
bring that one up.
But the reason I'm saying
It's
that
that
is
level.
because
Hmm.
it's still them.
Absolutely.
They know who they are inside. So
Absolutely.
why would they ever shun that?
Absolutely.
So same thing with us. When you see a black man, you know how we are normally.
Right.
Mhm.
So if you see me tripping,
Right.
Mhm.
you know it's something wrong. You got to have a certain level of empathy for that
Absolutely.
and understand all the stuff we done been through, bro.
Absolutely.
Because ain't nobody just tripping out because they regular.
For no reason.
Something wrong.
Yeah. And I felt like she was especially smug. And I feel like when you are sentencing someone, when you're taking away somebody's freedom, there's a certain level of empathy and compassion you need to
You
have.
to.
And she was very smug and snide when she gave that man that comment. And even when I heard it, I
I
said,
can't let that back
So-
out into the street. What
yeah.
the hell
What
is
did
that?
you think about that?
She
She said
said
that. She said that. That's
what
that's,
is that?
So, okay, so are you saying that by her being very mean and smug and the way she delivered it to him, basically she triggered it?
She's not fit to judge. Though.
I'm saying two things there. She's not fit to judge, and I do feel like he was triggered. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
But here's my thing.
Absolutely.
What do you do? Oh, you're about to go to jail. You have a good one.
No, we're not saying that, but
Be regular.
Be regular.
You're not supposed to throw out insults.
Or
so
your
when
personal
you say,
opinion.
when you say, I can't let that back out into the streets, that means I'm not human. I must be an animal or some type of thing. What are you talking about? That's not professional, bro. And in a space where you gotta ultimately be responsible for somebody's life,
yeah,
you got to, all that has got to be lined up. You can't be out of order with that.
Yeah.
And her being in an emotional state, regardless of what he did, you the judge.
But she's seen him before.
Of course.
And she was light on him the first time. That's all right. So
when she gonna send him to the mental ward.
So that could have also...
Hold on. The second time he went to jail, he was in a mental health court. They gave him a competency test, and he passed.
So
what that mean? Yeah. What does that mean? Lie test.
Would Marilyn Manson? I mean, would Charles Manson pass the competency test?
Absolutely,
easily.
But we all know he's batshit crazy. But he was manipulative though.
He still can pass it.
But he was Superman. He's literally on that. Like
passing the competency test just mean I understand stuff.
Basic stuff.
So with him, how I took it with Charles Manson was that he was able to influence people to do his dirty work.
Who are you talking about?
Charles Manson.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he influenced those women to do his dirty work.
Absolutely.
And then would just come in on the back end and indulge in it. Yeah, to them he was batshit crazy.
Right.
But to his followers, he wasn't crazy. Like he was a leader. He was this. He was the love of their life, all of that.
Part of those mental health issues that he suffers from, the ailment, like the red flags of it and the telltale signs of being charismatic, right? So just because you're charming, cunning, and witty doesn't necessarily mean you're not batshit crazy.
Right.
But he's still competent, though. Right. Is the point.
True.
So, like Smart was saying, and like I said in the group chat, the thing here is we know that jail and prison does not rehabilitate people. That was my exact word.
That's true.
So when I said,
make me ready to catch up when I get home. So I got a lot to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm behind. I don't know what kind of phone is that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm back there.
So when I said that, what I meant was I feel she's no different than a criminal because that jails and prisons aren't rehabilitating people, and you are sentencing him with a smile on your face because really what you're seeking here is punishment. You're not seeking to understand what, from an empathy standpoint, what is going on with this human being's mental health, emotional health. Something's wrong because no normal whole human person will have that many domestic violence, whatever violence situations.
They got to be on family members too.
I'm waiting on you. Go ahead.
So here's my question. So I understand what you're saying about how jail, prison, whatever, does not actually help a person. It doesn't rehabilitate a person.
All studies show that.
But what about when that person comes home and you have empathy for them and you have empathy for their situation, but they still don't try to better themselves?
That's why the placement is key. Where you put them, what you allow them to do, what's the consequence, that's key. That's why I said, at what point are you going to send them to the mental health facility?
Okay, so
because I can't just send you home. You ain't fixed. You got to go somewhere where somebody who understands you, preferably a Black therapist who understand you can talk to them and they can start figuring out what needs to be done. They're not doing that.
But also too, a lot of people can only identify with people who have been through similar experiences. Because if you notice, when we were talking to Smart, he had a certain demeanor with us, but when y'all connected, he really kind of opened up on that topic because y'all have very similar experiences. So only a person who has been in prison is going to understand what it takes for a person to rehabilitate from prison. The same thing with people who have been to the military. They come home
PTSD.
I mean, I don't want to speak too much on this, you know, but they come home, they're not fit to be home.
It's supposed to be a debriefing period.
Yeah.
They supposed to really go outside of our communities
Yeah.
and rehabilitate self through nature, but they don't do that. That's even in the Bible.
But
I'm
people
like,
who are making the laws or the policies are not the people who have experienced these things. Therefore, they're not fit to be making these laws.
They
and
don't care.
regulations.
But
Yeah.
a lot of the policies now are more or less, they're more, I think within the last 20 years, it's been more focused on mental health, everything.
Mhm.
Like, it's not so much, because if you look, like even here in Texas, we've lost a lot of money because when you screwing up as a youngster, where did you go?
ALC.
No, when them folks got ready to handle you.
Oh, TYC?
TYC.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it any more TYC?
Yeah, they going. What they
It's
doing
not,
though,
It's not how it
TYC,
used
no,
to be.
there you go.
but what they doing is they just slapping that ankle monitor on you and just letting you mess up constantly till they
Yeah.
gonna get you.
Yeah.
That's the only difference. We didn't have all that. Everybody, man, there's so many people on ankle monitors now.
True.
Mhm.
It's
And
crazy.
and violate. But see, it's what's crazy is that so you got to remember, I was a parole officer at one point, right? And so the community resources that you plug them in with, if they not utilizing them resources, this is, again, I have a whole different mindset because I was on multiple sides of this and trying to correct some of this behavior and trying to show people the correct way to do stuff. Some people dead set on this, what the fuck I'm finna do.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't care.
You ever thought maybe because you wasn't the person to connect with them?
I wouldn't say that because if you look at it, I've tried to meet you on. I've always met people on their level. I've never talked down on, right? Like from the women who were prostitutes and strippers, I never made them feel less of a person. This is why I cracked the joke about shaming sex workers. I ain't gonna shame
John
you, baby.
Shaman.
Yeah, I ain't gonna shame you. Look, get your money. Let's figure out whatever you need to do to, get your life back on the, the straight and narrow. Because everybody's level of normalcy is not normal. Like your normalcy may look like I may have a roof over my head and one bathroom. My normalcy may be I need 2 bathrooms. I need this, that, all this other stuff, and that's cool. So you have to again meet people where they are. Okay, well, if your stuff is well below it, okay, well, look, I'm not saying this is wrong, but let me show you a better way of doing this. Just because you can drive with your feet don't mean you're supposed to. So hey, 2 hands.
That's a slippery slope because, for instance, say you got 2 rappers. One, say you got Kid Cudi.
Okay.
And then I got Nipsey Hussle. Who the niggas in the hood gonna listen to?
They're gonna listen to Nipsey.
They're gonna listen to Nip because he know how to talk to them.
Right.
He know how to talk to them because he didn't live the same life. So, and I go through this a lot with a lot of the youngsters where I live at. They don't want to listen to everybody, bro.
Correct.
They're not trying to hear it.
Correct.
But when you can meet them in the middle and say, hey, bro, I get this right here. I used to do that too. But let me show you something. It's who's saying it, how they saying it, what they saying. Because a lot of times to them, they hear, man, this old nigga just talking, bro. None of that shit he talking about works. I tried that before. You know what I'm saying?
Point.
So they gotta see somebody who look like them, who they think like them. Like I'm way beyond what they thinking, but I know how to go there just to get you up here. You gotta drag them.
Yeah.
What I'm saying.
Some of them still ain't on this.
But I think
that's my point.
Some of them
that's
still
my
ain't.
Because look, you've seen how I got down. And we know all the stuff that we've been through. Fam. I never once sat up here and made somebody, well, yeah, this is gonna look, you either gonna make me do my job or you're gonna help me do my job. At the same time, you got how many months you got on this? Okay, I'm trying to step you down 3 months, but you need to do this, and this. That's it. Now you got some people, like kids get home, and you're right. First thing they want to do is they want to catch up. They want to do all this other stuff. That monitor, out the window. I done sent people back for violating before. I
done violated.
Oh, okay. So
ran years.
So again, like You remember my boy Drew, right?
Mhm.
Drew absconded, right? He
Mhm.
absconded when he first came home, and it wasn't even his fault. He was he moved in with his mom's husband at the time, or I think her boyfriend or whatever. She had passed. He moved in with her. He was like, "Yeah, I'm finna move." So in order for the monitor to work, you need to act the phone. Well, back then you needed to act the phone line.
Mhm. No phone.
No phone line. He automatically absconded. So he on the run. He did how many years?
What does he do in that situation?
He was screwed. No, he was screwed. He was.
Oh,
And so, but
That's what I'm saying.
But I never once shamed him. I never once you know what I'm saying?
Can you help him?
And I did. Did he not stay with me for a while?
He got to. You gotta feel obligated.
So
see, my PO wasn't like that. It was flooding, bro. The buses wasn't running. The city was flooded.
Yeah.
I don't care. You gotta get here.
Damn.
So guess what? I ain't coming.
Right.
I ain't never coming back.
Right.
Because I know you trying to lock me up. You basically telling me ain't no chance I ain't rescheduling. If you ain't getting here, violation. So I ain't coming.
And also, too, I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier when you said the empathy that white people have when they will take the shooter to Wendy's for a burger because he's hungry on the way to, you know what I mean? I don't think Black people have that kind of
we don't
empathy for each other.
Self.
Not for self or for each other. So
it's got to be personal.
I think the bigger question for me, I guess, in all my studies, is why is that?
Self-hate.
Oof.
It's not self-hate.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
So, for some, it's self-hate. Mm-hmm. Now you go to Boys in the Hood and watch that scene. That was self-hate.
Which one?
The one where he had Cuba Gooding Jr. against the car and talking about, go ahead.
Oh, the laws.
Yeah.
That's definitely self-hate.
That was self-hate.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's if you doing stuff and you out in the community and people are trying to tell you about yourself, hey, that ain't the move. That ain't the motion. That ain't none of that. Like, you need to chill out on that. You're going to crash yourself out. Mm-hmm. It's 90 degrees outside and you got a ski mask on. Mm-hmm. Fam, what the fuck do you think I'm finna do?
I'm sorry.
I'm just saying. It's 100 degrees on outside. You got on shorts and a hoodie. Mm-hmm. What do you think?
That's a youngster thing, man.
I know it's a youngster thing, but look at it. Say, man.
I mean, but that's why I was saying, like, the generations are just different.
You gotta know your youngsters. I be around them all day. Like, I ain't worrying about them.
That's how my kids.
They ain't worried about me.
I'm around them every day.
The self-hate part comes here. Lack of knowledge about self is gonna keep you from knowing and being able to fully love yourself. That's why it's no love with nobody else. Because you can't, if you can't love you first, you damn sure can't love nobody else. Right. So with that, what ends up happening is, and you hear it a lot in songs, we end up loving everything except us. So we got an authority complex when you see the police, the judge, the principal, everything authority be white people most of the time. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to something happening to one of us, number one, we see it so much in our communities already, so it ain't nothing. And it's like that in everybody's community. Right. It's just that I always get highlighted. But we see it so much, it ain't really nothing. Right. So when something does happen, ain't nobody really
desensitized.
Yeah, we desensitized.
We already desensitized.
It's over.
I love me some me. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about.
So guess what?
What's up?
When you got them kids, like when you was doing the when you had them kids and they really in trouble, bro, how bad do it hurt when you gotta say, I can't do nothing for you?
I got a kid in the psych hospital right now. Went and saw him yesterday. I'm so fucked up that he up in there.
That's what I'm that type of morality, bro.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what I'm saying. That's why I say I've been on all sides of the fence. I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I know that one wrong move when we was in our teens, I'd probably be somewhere different.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even and everybody knew my dad was the police. So it was
coolest policeman I ever met.
But that's my point.
Well, yeah, man, let's go hoop.
But that's my point. Every police officer isn't a representation of all police officers.
Right.
You do know it's some bad apples in the bunch. You do know they all run. So a lot of them running the gang, this, then the third, whatever. But it's actually some quality. Same thing with me. It's quality people in the roles in this community that we trying to reach people. But when we have identified, this person ain't nothing we can do for them. We just don't want them out here continuing to put others in danger.
Okay.
It's because we don't have a complete community for us where we can delegate the proper personnel for that. Because a lot of times, and you see this with kids, it could be coach, mama, granddaddy, none of that don't work. But if daddy come back around, it's all he shut all that down.
Kids ain't their father.
Yeah. And for a lot of them, it just be that. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else can't get. I know nobody couldn't talk to me. I ain't trying to hear none of that, bro.
He ain't lying.
Trying to hear it. Trying to hear it. My daddy ain't said.
What was you gonna say, Nina?
Oh, I forgot.
Dang.
I was listening to you. But I will say this. I was a teen mother. So I had a child at 15. And so, for me, people, I dealt with that. The shame, the guilt, the outcasting, ostracizing, because especially in church, unfortunately.
Church. Oh, no, that's where you're gonna get it at the most.
Especially at church. I still remember the dirty looks. And I'm almost 40. So,
I didn't care.
Huh?
I said I didn't care. Because 9 times out of 10 your daughter doing the same thing.
Right. And so but what I would say is, as a young lady, not having that proper guidance, not having, that sister circle or the older woman mentor thing where you can go. Because, if you rebelling against your mother or your mother's not home or your mother's not
present,
capable,
mothering.
Mothering. There needs to be some women that a young lady can go to and, for critical things. And when that's missing, you can get yourself into a lot of trouble and chaos ensues. I mean, the easiest way for a woman to drive herself to the poorhouse is to not have control over her fertility. And so, you out here.
That was a goddamn bar. I'm sorry. You got to let that breathe.
That's the fastest way for a woman to get to the poorhouse if you don't have control over your fertility. And so, these things that you learn as a mature woman, but just knowing that there's no place for girls, there's not a lot of places for girls. We have, not bashing any artists, but, we have the Sexy Reds, we got the Ski, we got the... You know what I mean?
Get on them.
I mean, and
they
it's
trying to represent you.
They're representing this new generation of Black women.
It's not a representation, and in fact, I think it's a disgrace. And I think what's happening is, we are steering our girls in the wrong direction, and there needs to be a bigger movement, a bigger voice of women who want to mentor. I've experienced older women who won't even mentor you because they still want to compete with you.
That's right.
Where are the elders?
Shit.
Where are the mentors? And so
I think in that, when it comes to like the elders and the mentors, because of, in which I say this, I'm a teen mom as well.
Okay, I didn't know.
So with that, it's like how we had like the teachers back then that cared, or the mentors in school. You had your grandmother, your aunt. We don't really have that nowadays.
No, everybody in the streets.
Yeah,
City
or
girls.
you have the teachers that's in the school that
girls
look like the students.
Yeah,
The teachers are looking like
acting
students.
like the students.
They're dressing like students. They're literally
They still
acting like
fucking on
students.
students.
I saw that too. Yeah.
So it's like the circle that I had coming up.
Yeah.
This
Don't
generation
exist.
doesn't have it, or it's to the point to where if I do try to, okay, let me sit down and talk to you. Let me tell you something that I know. Oh, I don't want to hear that. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just let you just bump your head.
Yeah.
And then once you bump your head and then you got the big ass knot right there, then you're gonna come back and you're gonna want to hear what I had to say.
Well, I think it's weird of us to make little girls feel wicked for wanting to explore. I know I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but wanting to explore sexuality, that is a natural part of becoming a young lady.
Mhm.
You go from being a child and then you hit puberty. That's when you get the woman hormones. Your body starts to change. You start to
Right.
get breast and ass and hips and whatever, like you're a
What-
woman because
what
you're
age
becoming
do
a
you
woman.
Start your cycle typically.
Between 10 and 13.
What does that mean? When
Because you're able to reproduce at that point.
Yeah.
So now you have eggs. Before then, you were a girl,
so from
Like
that
the
point,
eggs were still there,
right?
but they weren't able to be
Yeah.
fertilized.
So at that point, because different cultures do different things in different places. So at that point, who is to say at what age a girl is supposed to have a baby?
Absolutely.
If it's after puberty, because in some states right now, 14 and 15 is the legal age for marriage and all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like you shunning this girl for having a baby at 15 or 16 when she's able to, and nobody trying to help her. You trying to have her depressed to where she end up with you at work. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to coach her out of prostitution because ain't nobody coach her and tell her it's cool.
Right.
You had a baby, let's get this in order. You know what I'm saying? So we missing that, bro.
We missing
So-
it big time.
I'll speak from just my own point of view. Being a teen mom, and there were basically groups that were in my high school that actually helped me. I got to see that I wasn't the only teen mom in my school. At that point, it was no longer, oh, you pregnant, we're gonna send you to the pregnancy school. They didn't do that anymore. Like we were all still at school.
Oh wow.
And even after having my child, they offered the in-school daycare, but I was like, nah, I'm good on that. My baby gonna stay home with my grandma because that's just how I was raised. Like it was no daycare. No, my grandma got it.
Family.
Yeah, like I
Family,
had that family aspect, and like I tell people, even now, like my family is very family oriented. So anything happens, okay, we're gonna call this person in because they may have, more information than what I can give you. But like with my own kids, I'm very open. It's no sugarcoating anything. If something dripping, you need to come let me know. You know what I'm saying? Like don't hide it. And I can say growing up, like I was scared to talk to my mom about certain things because I was just like, Lord, if I tell her I'm doing, if I tell her I'm doing this, she gonna call my daddy. So that's why I'm like that with my kids, especially my daughter, because with her, she's very different. She's very shy, but
you don't want to shelter her.
Yeah, like I
have her
try
wondering.
not to shelter her. Even though she's the only girl, all these brothers, I don't shelter her. I let her still experience things. But I also tell her, like, what you seeing on social media is really not what it is.
It's cap.
Like I need you to understand, like, if somebody, somebody at this age comes up to you, this is what's supposed to happen. Like I don't do like the cookie box and
no.
I don't do that. This is what it is.
No, this is a vagina.
Right. Like I need you to know the proper terms.
Who say?
I need you to know the proper terms
Absolutely.
of what it is, because I don't want you, if something happens and we have to call the police to report something, even with my sons, I don't want you saying, oh, well, yeah, because he or she touched my box. Like, what the hell is the box?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and I just feel like with this generation, a lot is just so lost.
I think so.
It's lost.
Yeah.
So who's to blame?
Shit, everybody.
I think we all have a part to play. I think when people have gifts and people have, passions, like Smart was saying, and they don't put themselves forward, obviously, once you consult with God and God gives you the green light. But if you don't go and do what you called to do, I think you have failed your people at that point.
Everybody's to blame.
Absolutely.
Whoever doesn't extend themselves, not overextend, but extend themselves to the aid of other people who look like them, or you not teaching nobody nothing. It's no each one teach one in you.
You're a gatekeeper.
Yeah, you feel them.
But
Absolutely.
what was the term you just used? I love that term you not to what?
What I say?
Not to overextend.
You can't drag yourself in.
Because some people are trying to be in roles that they're not meant for. So, like we said earlier, everybody ain't gonna be a leader of a movement or nothing like that. But you could lend your expertise in some kind of way.
But I want to piggyback on the whole overextending in the form of not because just because you may not be the person for that, right?
Right.
Mhm.
But you might know someone.
But you also could very well be the person. If everybody has limits, again, we all human.
Yeah.
So if I'm overextended to the and I've had that happen because you see the trajectory in which this person is on, and you like trying to keep putting these things in place so that they don't hit this wall, and you know it's coming, and you're more invested in them getting better and getting to the point where they can successfully do what they need to do than they are.
Right.
Oh hell no! Hey,
No casting pearls before swine, bro.
That's true.
You got to see some potential.
but you do
Yes.
see potential. Here's the thing about potential: some people never live up to.
Moving potential though,
Right.
not stagnant.
Right.
But
Like,
some
you
people,
could,
some people never live up to it though. Like
Right.
people can do the 1-2 shuffle and get this far and this far, and then
I'm tired.
And see, that's like with me, for instance, I can sit up here and want to see the best for you,
right,
especially with you coming home from jail. I can want to see the best. I can have all the resources in the world to help you,
yes,
but I cannot hold your hand.
That's
I
it.
can't go stand in line for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm gonna help you. I'll get you there, but you also got to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it's time for your cutoff, don't come to me saying, "Miss Jamie."
I mean,
Because the answer is no, because I gave you everything that you needed and you chose not to do it.
you got to have boundaries. And I think too, when it's meant for you to connect with someone or mentor someone, when the energy is synergized, or I don't know how to verbalize what I'm experiencing, but you will see progress, you will see
Mhm.
fertility, you will see growth. I think a sign that something is not meant for you to be working on is that there is no movement, there is no growth. There
Right.
is, once you've done what you think that you could do and you don't see any movement, then it might be time for you to, reassign or,
Just go to the
part
next.
ways. Yeah, because we're not meant to touch everybody. We're not meant
Right.
to connect with
Can't.
everybody. Yeah, but we are meant to connect with someone.
And those people who don't get connected with, or they can't make a proper connection,
Mhm.
a lot of times they really just meant to follow.
Absolutely.
So what happens is they'll see everybody going one way and they just go.
Yeah.
You ain't got it. You don't have to touch them.
Yeah, everybody has their
Yeah.
place. Everybody ain't meant to be brought forward. The cream rises. I hate to sound like
like yeast I rise.
I hate to,
I mean, but that's
I mean,
definitely
it's-
how I look at it. though.
yeah.
It's not meant for everybody. Some
Mm-mm.
folks are just in the mentality of, I don't want to do it.
And it just
I
might
want
not be
somebody to
their
take care of
time.
me.
Yeah. Because I didn't have any support. When I got pregnant in high school, I did homeschool. And then because I was so smart, this is crazy. True story. I was in AP classes all my life. So I had all these credits and they're like,
AP
oh,
gang.
yeah, you can gang.
Gang.
I
They
wasn't a
like,
part of that game.
oh, you can graduate early,
Yeah.
So I graduated as a junior because I had so many credits, and then I went on to go to college because I was smart. But see, even though my family, from the projects in Louisiana, grew up in Ridgemont, grew up in A-Leaf, grew up in all these different hoods, whatever, I knew my talent though. I was smart. So I knew if I'm gonna get up out of here, I gotta use my brain.
Once you got to the West, though, it all came together. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
I met some people who were very intricate in my development, and there's a white man named Mr. Tennyson. He is the speech and debate coach at Ollie Middle School.
Oh, you went to Alley.
I went to Ollie, and he formed the speech and debate team that year when we got there in middle school, and he's still actually running it all these years later. Actually, I'm about to sign up to be a judge next month.
Man, that's
It's dope, yeah. But he was one of the people who I would say I learned a lot from. And even though my father was absent, God will send certain people to fill certain roles in your life. So I don't think people should harp on who's there, who's not. If you are connected and you're really, in submission with God, he will send you people, places, things. And so that white man stood in the gap. My point is, he took us on a field trip to visit colleges. We were exposed to just speech and debate, oratory, language, reading, play. I was, in plays and things like that. And those things were critical for me in my success. I went on to get a degree. Now I'm at 10 years in HR. I got 2 kids, both of them in college. Well, one is in college. She'll be graduating next year. She's 21. And my son is going to college. So, I was able to go on my path despite my pitfalls. But the point is, I think people focus too much on what's missing instead of looking at what's there.
What you got?
Yeah.
Yeah, this gone, but what I got left?
Yeah.
Use this and go on.
Absolutely. So that's my 2 cents.
That was more than 2 cents.
I'm sorry, that was 18,000. Girl, you got
200-300
cents times. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Nah, but you good. Nah, and it's always great when you, like I said, I always appreciate when you share like that. Just let us.
These are vulnerable moments. I was gonna say that my heart kind of.
You know, for folks who don't know about the southwest side of Houston, a lot of other hoods you go to, it'll be mostly blacks, this and that. But on the west, we had a nice mix of everybody.
Diverse, yeah.
Not to say that I like that, but it helped you maneuver through life with different people.
There you
Absolutely.
go. You know what I'm saying?
And
most of us from the west, we know how to turn on the white voice real quick, and we know how to get hood too. So it's like you had that versatility.
Absolutely. And I went to U of H, go Cougs. And that's the #1 diverse university in the United States. So, and I felt like that gave me an advantage as well. Well, here's what I'm saying. Because the world is multicultural.
Very much so.
And so I'm able to go in different rooms and different spaces and talk to different people because I've worked with all these different cultures.
Right.
Go on Bel Air, you got to talk to the Chinese people over there.
Yeah.
You go out for Harwin, the Arabs over there.
Right.
You have to do it.
That's what I love about just our city in general. Like, it's very diverse.
It is.
You can go in one area and be like, I didn't even know this was over here. And like, that's
and
what
the
I do
food
with my
fire.
kids. Like, I like to.
So what you say?
The food fire.
Yes.
The food fire.
We
ranked what, number 4? What's his name?
And that's Cal.
No,
really
we were number 2.
It's
we number 2?
We were number 2.
Number 2? Who in front of us?
Yeah, who in front of us? Don't tell me Louisiana.
I think it
New
was
Orleans.
Louisiana.
I think it was Louisiana. New Orleans. New Orleans ain't the best
It
cooking
ain't.
city in Louisiana.
I'm gonna have to go look. I'm gonna look.
My family's from Louisiana, but New Orleans ain't.
I think we ranked number 2.
They play too much.
Which one, Lafayette or Baton Rouge?
So my family's from Oakdale.
Oakdale.
It's a little place
They
near Casino
cook?
Coshada. Yeah. That's some of the best food you'll have. It's a little country place.
Country place.
Yeah.
Good.
Coming through Coshada, Casino Coshada, if you drive past, you would literally pass it up because it's only a Walmart, a Sonic.
You seen y'all seen the meme that was going around? How Texan are you?
Oh yeah.
Based on the foods.
I think I got like 35.
I got like a 38 or 40, bro.
I think I had 40 or
something.
Yeah.
The country fried steak, the chicken fried chicken.
Absolutely.
Stop at Luby's.
Look at that. Shout out to Luby's. We need that deal. That's all I'm saying.
Stuff I ain't eating, stuff like coleslaw and
I like coleslaw.
Get a little too.
I fucks with the coleslaw and Cane's.
I like cabbage, so that's why I like coleslaw.
Put your little bit of salt and pepper.
Not the
Now the KFC coleslaw, fuck that.
No.
Who's keeping KFC open?
Say, man,
who keeping Arby's
open?
Who goes there?
KFC be the little bowl.
Yeah, that bowl was fire. I used to fry that bowl, boy. That bowl was fire.
It's certain things they can't.
Exactly.
But not Arby's. Ain't no reason.
Ain't no reason.
You eat that, Chris?
Like a mafia.
Bro.
Chris, you eat Arby's, bro.
He's a plant. No, I'm playing.
That's why them kids can't connect with you, man. You eating Arby's.
You eating Arby's.
Throwing your frequency off, man.
They got the meats.
They got the meats.
They got the meats.
I'm with daily slice.
That's too funny.
Anytime Ving Rhames is involved, it's a pretty good situation.
Look
at the only one that I ain't fuck with was when he did that Valentine movie.
Who?
You know, Ving Rhames.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you do.
Who?
Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
the black
I'm
dude.
not a
Pulp
big
Fiction.
movie connoisseur.
No,
Ving Rhames is-
play Holiday Heart.
That one.
He
Yeah.
played
And why do I know him by that?
in
And,
Exactly.
and Baby Boy.
and
Baby Boy.
Baby Boy.
I got you.
Everybody know Mel.
I know him. Yeah.
You know, hopping
Yeah.
around the kitchen. You want Kool-Aid?
Yeah.
fucking with me, right?
See, that was a trigger moment, though.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's exactly
Trigger
he-
Melvin, man.
he
It
did
is.
because
I'm
he
trying to
had
chill.
been messing with that man that whole time. That man ain't done nothing to him. He just in there giving his mama some
Yeah.
Some good breakfast.
some good
They
breakfast.
making sure she have the best breakfast
Yeah.
sausage of her life.
You know
Keeping
what
an
I'm
eye.
saying?
Working in the garden.
Yeah, and he snapped. That's a trigger
Because
moment.
you steady playing with me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
You came with me. I just can't. I will beat you down, Joe.
Yeah.
Put that boy in that headlight. Licked him on the forehead.
Now that's
Hey, but I'm just saying that's how those things happen.
Mhm.
You know, so
And now I already snapped. And I'm trying to make sense of it in my own head. I'm pacing back and forth,
Mhm.
man. I really feel like I'm about to go back.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You knew, hey, because all it would have took was one call. He was gonna go back.
Well, I don't think people understand how that works.
Yeah.
Because see, I grew up in a violent home.
Right.
So when you had disagreements, then the understanding was someone finna throw hands.
Mhm.
So when I'm in certain situations, I tell people I don't argue with people. And they
Mhm.
see me in these little cute dresses and whatnot, and they think like, oh, but no, something happens in certain situations. And I'm not trying to go to jail. So I tell people like, hey, I don't argue with people. I don't do the whole thing. People think like, oh, well, you must be no. Ask about, you could ask about me. Like, there's a reason why I don't engage. Because if I engage, it might go too far.
ding, 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 ding.
So
Damn.
Triggers, man.
Just saying, I just,
that's why
yeah.
that's why I have empathy for people who commit violence. I understand. I don't want to say I understand. I'm not a violent criminal. I've never been convicted. Let me just put this out there. I've never been convicted for any.
Not in your position.
I can't confirm or deny, anything. But what I'm saying is, I have empathy for people who react that way because I understand it.
Right.
That's why. I don't know if I said that in the group chat.
As a
but that's
man,
why.
any man should understand that.
Yeah.
Because we interact with each other and we automatically put a level of respect in place because we know it's always a low level threat of violence.
That
Regardless,
part,
when it's
you
two
should
men,
ding
if
the
it's
thing.
any disrespect,
Yeah.
it could be quick. All you gotta do is say the wrong thing.
Right.
Absolutely. But that's what a lot of reasons why, as men, we try to avoid it at all costs because, like, I try to tell people this shit all the time. Y'all think the shit cute because, in certain spaces, to have the back and forth.
Yeah.
And, like, you got to remember at the end of the day, as a man, I still can go there.
Yeah.
Like,
I can turn my mouth off and get right to my type of business.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna win the mouth battle all day.
Right.
So that's why the saying is a woman who can't control her mouth is the same as a man who can't control his hands. It's what you can really do some damage with that mouth.
Absolutely.
And make people trip out.
Absolutely.
So
I mean,
if you can then I can.
I definitely say women, we do hit below the belt.
Absolutely.
And that's why he was saying a woman with wisdom. And I think that talks about that first conversation we had when I talked about maturity. I liken that to wisdom, hopefully. if you maturing right. If you're maturing right.
As long as you know you still got the power.
Absolutely.
Because if women can't fight like that, if they can't fight socially, you got to be willing to say they ain't aggressive. They have to have some type of defense mechanism.
Absolutely.
And that's just the way they do it. They can tear you down socially. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta respect that.
But a wise woman knows how to control her mouth.
Right. And that's with me. Like, it took for me, as I got older, I had to realize, okay, for you not to black out and go to jail, you got to remove yourself from certain situations
and people.
So it's like with me, like, because I know how I am. Once you push me to that level and I black out, I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So I don't like to argue. I'm not about to sit up here and go back and forth with you. I'm not about to fight with you. I'll just totally shut down and remove myself.
Mhm.
So I got questions for both of y'all. It's a multiple choice.
Multiple choice.
Yeah. So you out somewhere
Mhm.
and you at Walmart. You in line.
Mhm.
And there's this dude behind you, and he like trying to skip,
Mhm.
but he really like tripping. You can tell, like, man, this dude tripping.
Mhm.
So you look at him like, I'm right here, and then he go to tripping, like hollering and screaming, like he about to do something. Is your next move to argue back,
Mhm.
start fighting, call somebody, or leave and call somebody when you get in the car?
I actually had that happen when I worked at Best Buy,
Mm,
but I was the cashier, and there was a customer, and it was like holiday season. You know how the lines are, and this lady, she started yelling in the line, and yelling is a trigger for me. I don't like people raising their voice at me, and so I'm checking someone out, and she starts like yelling, and she like threw something at me, and like she got real wild.
This a lady?
Yeah,
Was she white?
she was Asian.
Don't even matter.
Hey,
Lady on lady,
Yeah.
whoop her ass.
Nah,
Whoop her
see,
ass.
That's she
You
was at
threw
work.
something.
but see, I was a teen. This was when I
Right.
was 18, 17.
You
So
needed that job.
you needed your job.
I lived on my own. I paid at that point. I moved out my mama's house,
Mm.
so I couldn't afford to.
Life is
Could I
already
have beat
what
her
it is.
ass?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely.
But see,
But I couldn't do it, so I
But-
cut the light off and just moved to another register.
but that's the piece, the missing piece that we be talking about. Because see, in that moment, you realize you was triggered.
I was triggered. I was hot. Like you
Right.
could feel heat coming off of me. I was so goddamn mad.
But you said, you know what? I need this.
Mm-hmm.
I got this.
Mhm.
Cut the light off. Go to the next register.
Yeah.
A lot of people lack. They go to the and that's hard to even rewire somebody to even think that. That's what I'm saying. So no matter what you do, they still gonna be like, fuck it. I done been to jail. It ain't nothing. Let me go. I'm gonna whoop your ass because I feel good in the moment, instant gratification. But if I gotta go there, I'll go there.
I would say for your respect and your pride, if you had a husband at the time,
Mhm.
you should have whooped her ass. But in your situation, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I didn't have that.
You need your job.
Yeah.
You can't.
I just
So,
I
Can't
chose
depend
not
on
to.
nobody to.
And
you
it
know?
wasn't because I was scared of her, nothing like that.
No.
Like
You just knew you had
Chinese lady
responsibility.
throw something.
You
Yeah.
prioritize.
Right.
I had a 2-year-old.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a difference.
Can't play like that.
I think so with your question, it would have been what was that D? To get in my car and call somebody. Now I'm not gonna call you while I'm still in the parking lot.
Right.
I'm gonna get in my car because I'm triggered. I'm
And it's
scared.
still a danger.
I don't. Yeah, it's a
Mhm.
huge danger because I don't know what's actually going inside. I done left my basket now. I done took time to put all this shit in the basket. Now I gotta go somewhere else and do it. But I'm gonna get in my car because at that point, okay, now I feel safe. I'm in my car. Let me leave and call somebody to now calm me down.
Yeah.
As crazy as it is, the person that I called to calm me down, we are not even together.
Well,
That's so.
whatever works.
That's crazy.
You need that. That's who got. Listen,
because
man.
this person has been with me through so much
Mhm.
to the point to where he knows like what I deal with.
Mhm.
So if prime example at work, something was going on, I had a whole anxiety attack. I ran straight to my car. I knew I was not capable of driving because I'm still experiencing this attack.
Mhm.
I called that person.
Let me find out you was calling on the security guard.
Bro, I
I
didn't almost went to jail twice
Right.
for intervening in situations that ain't had shit to do with it.
Right.
Yeah.
But
But
again,
simply because it was a black woman right there. Both times it was a white man talking crazy.
Yeah.
But in my mind, I know this lady can't do nothing with this man.
but she
Yeah.
gonna do this,
But
and that's the problem.
they didn't.
But you
Yeah, I was
got
gonna say
Man, one of them was a stud girl at AutoZone. This white man had called on the phone.
hold on. Shout out to the studs.
My dog.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I feel y'all. Just make sure y'all leave me some draws Y'all be
Shut
taking content
up.
stuff.
I'm sorry, but y'all box birds are like very comfortable.
I cannot.
They're very comfortable.
That's terrible.
But
no,
I actually be, I low key be attracted to some studs sometimes.
Bye.
Shut up, Chris.
I'm done.
This is a whole different show,
It be the
man.
right one.
Not
though,
this
but,
show.
If you come over with me, what's going on, big dog? Nah, I ain't.
Having a
Go
sport.
ahead.
So anyway, so the girl, the white guy had called AutoZone. He was trying to get some part. They didn't know what he was talking about. He wasn't explaining it right. At first, he was on the phone with a Mexican guy. And so when he got to the store, the girl was at the register. And he trying to explain to her, I was on the phone with the Mexican guy. And he said he had the part. And the girl like, well, sir, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to go get him. So he get to getting loud and just like trying to handle her crazy. And they was arguing, going back and forth at first. And then she said, you know what? I'm just going to leave out the store. So she walked out the store and he turned around and it was a couple guys in line. He turned around and looked at all this and was like, fat bitch. Oh my goodness.
But see,
I went through the roof, Chris. I went through the roof.
At that point, though, it ain't shit to do with us. I understand.
It do got something to do with
I
me.
understand.
You know why? Because if I allow that to happen, he gonna think he can do that
in front of
any black woman, anytime, anywhere. I don't give a damn what you do to Becky, but you can't do that to her because she look like me. And if something happened to her, that shit gonna affect me, bro. If you in here whooping her ass in here, I can't take that.
That's different.
I can't, but it's the same because it's still a type of abuse. You ain't finna verbally abuse her, none of that.
And almost like, and he turned to y'all almost kind of like
looking for
like we supposed to be
cool.
Now imagine I do that in the Woodlands.
Right.
Same thing. In an AutoZone in the Woodlands, and I'm arguing with this white lady who work at the register.
In front of some white man.
You out of there.
I'm out of there. So guess what? Around me, you out of there.
I'm just going.
Principle is principle.
I don't spend money with stuff like that. So if I would have saw that going, there's plenty of other AutoZones. I just would have went somewhere else.
I'm cool right there. The people at the register ain't do nothing.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
AutoZone fault is him.
Yeah.
Just like another dude at Luby's, I walked up and the lady telling the dude, "Okay, sir, I don't want to talk about nothing. I'm in line, and I'm not." He keep trying to, and so I'm like, "Bro, shut the fuck up. She don't want to talk to you, man. If you say something else to her, I'm gonna slap you. Just leave her alone." Because
why you had to go there?
Because why you keep you bothering her?
I just would have gave him.
Stop bothering.
Hey, buddy. The lady doesn't want to be bothered.
Because he kept trying to talk to me. And now he on some what I like to call white apologist stuff, bro. I don't want we trying to eat.
Yeah, we ain't trying to hear.
We're not here to sympathize with you or none of that. This lady do not want to be bothered, man. Leave her alone.
Yeah. No, I agree. And and I think if we are gonna start to enforce these type of boundaries in public, I think we have to be careful about it. We have to be smart about it because we can't put ourselves, in a line of danger. Because I saw a video where a little boy was with his mama and the man behind them start tripping.
That's the Chicago video.
Yeah, the little boy.
He went to the car.
And then someone wound up getting killed, and it's just like.
That's why I asked y'all that question.
Yeah, I wouldn't incite it.
You cannot
I wouldn't
argue
incite
with
it.
that.
But in that situation, the mom was going back and forth. She was egging it on. She was antagonizing him.
Yeah,
she got the lead.
Yeah, I wouldn't incite it. No, I would remove myself for sure. Yeah,
see, she didn't think like that. You got your child with you.
Yeah.
Your child is now seeing this man attacking his mother.
That's it.
The first instinct in his head, is let me protect my mom. And I can speak on it because I have sons.
Me too, yeah.
So when I take them anywhere with me, they are automatically like, they act like they my security guards. They my bodyguards. Anything happen, they always say, my first thing is to protect you. But I also know I'm not trying to put my kids in a
You gonna
situation like
protect them
that.
too.
As
Yeah.
a mother, as a mature woman, you know not to put your child in a
Mm-hmm.
situation where they have to defend you, where you could
Yeah.
just opt to shut the fuck up.
Like prime example, last night, shopping, you know, everybody is, you know, trying to prepare for this
For the
freeze that's
freeze.
coming. We in the store, it's a line of people.
Mhm.
But the way the line is looking, when you come in this way, you don't see us on this aisle.
Mm.
So we standing right here. I'm next in line. A man comes this way and jumps in front of me. My oldest was like, "Hey," I said, "No, no, let him go."
Mm-hmm.
I was like, first off, he only got 2 things. Look at our basket. Look at what he got. Let him go.
But again,
How many of your kids was with you?
All 3.
But
Oh, they were gonna drag him in there too.
And mind you, and he called my daughter a gangster.
his
like-
her
And
daughter
daughter
is
too?
a gangster.
Oh man.
Like,
yeah.
if you see
She
my
the
daughter, you gonna be
emotional.
like-
It's turn.
Her son is the thug. Her daughter is the gangster. I'm telling you.
But I had to tell them, I was like, look at our basket. Look at what he got. Plus, he older. Just let him go.
But
Yeah.
But again, that's the same element and the level of thinking, right? When you, okay, you know what? The piece that is gonna cost me in order to sit up here and rectify this versus this old ass man only got some Bengay in here and a loaf of bread. Go on, let him go.
He just had
Yeah.
a thing of Modelo and some chips.
Oh, no.
Start going ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't no kid. Now, if he ain't have his idea, then you know.
Why he wasn't in the 10-item list line?
Exactly.
So it was actually at Aldi.
Don't be that person.
We
Don't
was
be
at
that
Aldi,
person.
and you know at Aldi they don't have it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
you know
Yeah.
everybody in there, it's only the gallon of water that's
Yeah.
left. You know, so I was just like, man, just let him go. Because the main one that said something was the oldest, and he was like, "Nah." I was like,
It ain't right, mama.
It's
I was
not.
like, let him go.
But
But
hey,
it ain't that.
And plus,
That's
I know
it.
my son. If the man would have said something back, he would have.
Yeah.
So to
Exactly.
protect
We don't
my
need
child, baby, just let him go. We
Mhm.
good.
Yeah.
I don't know what kind of face I be having, but just when I start walking up to the line, they just start putting brakes on the basket.
Oh yeah,
Go ahead.
bro, it's not your face.
it's you.
It's you.
I ain't saying nothing. I used to be walking.
You just a black
This
man.
black man with these snakes in his head.
Yeah.
You know,
Let me in the front.
he gonna be no nonsense. Yeah,
And that's the you know, both of my boys they got dreads.
exactly.
I'm instantly always on
My
the
son
defense.
too. Yeah.
Because I'm like, y'all, when y'all see them, y'all automatically just see them as a problem.
Absolutely.
They scary, that's all.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
and
exactly
not
what
even
it
the
is.
case.
I was accosted by the cops. Got pulled over one morning. I was taking my son to school, and I was scared. This is a trauma response. I mean, this is a book that I'm reading. I was telling you about racialized trauma responses, and you know, we hold certain trauma in our body, which causes you to have a certain reaction. So when I was accosted by the cops with my son in the car, I immediately went to control my mouth, number one, and then you know I was very compliant. But the whole time I was scared for my son for some reason, and I didn't even know why I was so scared.
You know why?
Well, I know
You know
why.
now.
I know why. But the whole time I'm just like, I'm not gonna fuck this up because I don't want something to
mess with my
happen.
child.
And they just dump in my car.
Yeah.
They will do it.
If he moves suddenly or something, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, when they were walking up to the car, I'm like, hey, keep your hands this, do that. You know, I'm telling him whatever, this is how you handle it. Yes, sir, no, sir, whatever. And but it's crazy that we have to even like
tell our kids that,
It-
or
not-
just do that in general.
Have that trauma response.
Unfortunately,
because
it's
if I was
painful.
white, I could be like, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
Of course.
You know,
boy, they do.
I'm not taking that damn ticket. But
Do it all the time.
me being me, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
And I gotta take the ticket, and I can't even
Mhm.
snatch it. I have to
Mm-mm.
gently
Yeah,
take
yeah.
it from
No,
you.
I wait until they put it in my car, and then I take it and I sit there. I don't want to get. I don't
You
want
can go
no
in front of me.
problem,
I ain't
sir.
pulling out.
Please, I've had too many run-ins with the
Smashing
cops.
off. Fuck
Yeah.
y'all. I already got the ticket.
Before I
Not
had
the
kids,
kids.
I didn't give a damn. Before I had kids, I talk crazy to them, cuss them out, everything. But I was in the streets, so the conversation and the diction between police and the nigga in the streets, it was like, I'm talking to you like you talking to me, bro. I ain't finna play with you.
Right.
But once I had kids and the George Floyd stuff happened, man, bro, I cried one day driving home because I felt it. They was behind me, and I'm like, man.
Your body tensed.
What?
Your heart
Drop.
yeah.
But we had several conversations, and I'm so glad to hear you verbally say that shit now, because it's like, bro, you can't be moving like that. You nah, man, but I'm like, nah, no, because I think I had my son first, right? Yeah, I had my son, but then you had Jax. Yeah, so once I was already thinking like that to begin with. It's just so glad to finally at least have you on board as far as that. Now, other stuff I know we go all the way around the world with shit, but I know why you felt that way too, because it's an unwritten rule that, you know, as a black man, we
the last bro on the totem pole.
That's it.
Yeah,
and that's why I said, I don't know when. I think it was a few episodes ago. I had said, I don't believe the black woman is the least protected class in America.
Of course not.
It's the black man.
They feel like that because we the least protected, but we the protectors of them.
us.
Right.
So
in their eyes,
do we feel safe? Exactly.
They ain't supposed to be protecting us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But the misconception is we got shit so hard that it's hard to make that full protection. I really got to just be crazy.
Yeah.
And see, just even hearing you say that, like it just kind of makes me think back, even like with slavery, like black men were the least protected. Like they were trying to protect their families. You know, they were trying to protect they woman. But if I didn't do something that master said to do, or you know,
No
the
matter
handler
what
or
he
whatever,
talking about.
you gonna take me from them, and then now you gonna sexually abuse my woman.
Not only that,
or him.
They were doing
the
that.
black man, the way they emasculate him. I was reading the book.
Yeah, they would
have sex with them in front of the rest of the slaves.
Yeah.
This the exact way they did it. So like if the four of us were slaves, and just say Chris the biggest, so you know he the most prominent slave, he can do the most work, etc.
Right.
To keep us from bucking, they gonna take him, tie him up to a table, naked, spread him out, and they gonna take turns raping him and make us watch.
Yep.
So if they done did that to him, what we gonna do?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's heavy.
And which I feel like that also plays along with how our families basically, the upbringing, the trauma that we deal with. Because I'm like, just talking to my dad, talking to my grandma, like I'm not that far away from it.
No.
When you really think about your generation.
That's what?
That's actually where sagging pants come from. When your pants was sagging, that was evident that you'd already been buck broken. So if another plantation owner came along and seen your pants like that, he know I ain't got to do him. Yeah. Wicked.
Jesus Christ.
So but as smart as we was,
reading in the Black History Month.
As smart as we was, though, some of us would do that anyway to be covert.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna sag mine. Anyway.
I'm gonna sag mine. Just that. Yeah, you
I ain't been buck broken, but I did. He got. You ain't got to do it.
You ain't
got. I'm good.
That's heavy. My chest tight now. Y'all got me tight.
Damn.
I'm mad tight.
So you gotta talk a little bit more about your battle coming up.
Hey, January 20th. We got a big card coming up. Lose Yourself. It's gonna be down at the Mecca Smoke Shop Banquet Hall, right down from the Mecca Smoke Shop off of Alameda, Genoa.
That was where the other one was, wasn't it? Yeah, the one I went to. Yeah,
it's more or less a kind of a rookies versus vet cards in a sense. And I'm not really a vet because I ain't been in that long, but
he ain't lost yet either. So
yeah, my track record nice. But so one of my little homies on that's in the league with me, giving him a shot to showcase, you know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna kick his ass, but he get to, you know, because I tell people all the time, battle rap, it ain't about winning all the time. It's about you looking good on stage and people wanting to see you. You don't have to be super bar heavy or just be if everybody want to see you, it don't matter what you say.
That's true. You
know what I'm saying? Because the league owner's gonna say, well, he gonna bring a lot of people through the door.
True.
Everybody want to see him, so we booking him. So, you know, but yeah, man, it's gonna be a lit event. We having Ill Will. Some of y'all probably heard of Ill Will. We having Ill Will down here to battle my boy Suave. And,
Oh,
yeah. Another
Swinzy.
barcode favorite. We having Tubbs versus my little homie Guapo. He up and coming. He pretty fire.
Mm.
Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty lit card. Y'all need to pull up.
Yeah, I'm
Sound
gonna pull
dope.
up. I'm gonna support.
This is
Are you gonna post it or how do we?
Oh,
He,
yeah,
al-
y'all
he
see
already
it.
posted.
Oh,
it.
okay.
Y'all see it.
But
I've
he
been
gonna-
What time
promoing and
is it
everything. I've been talking crazy about my boy and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, but y'all,
time?
you would enjoy it. Yeah, it's time.
No, what time? Is it?
Like probably 7 or 8.
Oh, okay. I thought you were about to say like 11.
Nah,
I
hell
was
no.
gonna say, nah, I'll be in somebody calling to sleep by then.
I'm glad we all on the same page.
It might end like
It might
Yeah,
end by
12.
Yeah,
11,
of course,
right?
of course. Yeah,
Like that's really why I don't even go out no more because I be in the corner like.
yeah.
It's
See,
but it's
just
fun. If you want to come and be festive
yeah,
with black folks,
experience the culture.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's super culture because I always tell people I think playing the dozens, bro, is a lost art. We should still be doing that. And the reason why I think so is because it kept us at a standard.
Mm-hmm.
If you come outside in the morning, everybody about to go to school,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Wasn't together.
You lacking.
yeah, bro, you ain't brush your hair, you ain't brush your teeth, whatever
Mhm.
you ain't do, we about to roast you. And tomorrow, you're not doing that no more.
Yeah.
But that's called bullying right now.
It sure
Right.
is.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't everybody coming any kind of way, and you can't say nothing. Or we started standards for stuff like that. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? And so I think battle rap is one of them places where you can talk to your brother, shake hands after, and we still love each other. But I heard what you said, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because a lot of times I have to tell some of these guys, like, bro, the reason why you're not getting booked because you need to change clothes. You gotta where you trying to go, you gotta look like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
But it takes courage and
course.
vulnerability to be able to be straight with somebody like that.
And the reason why I don't have a problem with it is because I've been in a spot where I ain't had the best of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
I can still come up with a way. If you can buy them Vans, bro, you can go buy them Air Forces. If you can go get a white T-shirt. You know, it's
Yeah,
about making yourself
Mhm.
look like something. It
Right.
don't gotta be
Expensive.
You know, exactly.
Yeah,
And you
for
know,
sure.
so I just feel like battle rap is one of those platforms where we can be more of a culture.
I fuck with it.
Fucks with it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Remember, in life, don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're elevated and celebrated. For Kings Podcast ENT, we will be back on Wednesday if we're not frozen somewhere. And if we are, just rewatch this shit again.
Wrap your pipes, okay? Prepare for this freeze.
Yeah.